Have you heard that tiny homes make at least $30,000 a year in profit if they're done well? Welcome to today's video where I'll be discussing the 5 key qualities that any tiny home must possess in order to stand out from the crowd and become a highly profitable Airbnb. If you're someone who's considering building or buying a tiny home to rent on Airbnb, then you won't want to miss today's video. The truth is, while these structures are incredibly popular, simply having a tiny home is not enough to make it successful. I've researched the most popular tiny home listings on Airbnb to find the formula that works for tiny homes so that you can replicate this same kind of success. The first part of the formula is outdoor space. When it comes to designing a great tiny home that is sure to attract guests, there are several features that can take it to the next level. One of the key elements is a deck. A well-designed deck can create additional living space and make your tiny home feel larger than it actually is. For example, it can be the perfect spot to enjoy your morning coffee or tea or take in the sunset. When designing a deck, it's important to consider the size, materials, and placement to maximize its potential as well as its aesthetic appeal. It has to be beautiful. Another important feature to consider is a table and chairs. Having a designated area for eating is crucial in making the outdoor space of a tiny home much more functional. Next, adding a fire pit to your outdoor space can create a cozy and inviting atmosphere. It's the perfect spot to gather with friends and family, roast marshmallows, and enjoy the warmth of a fire on a cold night. And what better way to relax after a long day than soaking in a hot tub? A hot tub can be a luxurious addition to a tiny home, providing a place for guests to unwind and de-stress, as well as earn extra cash. On average, tiny homes with hot tubs bring in an additional $50 per night. An outdoor shower is also a practical feature for any tiny home. It allows guests to enjoy the great outdoors while showering and to wash off after soaking in the hot tub. Finally, a hammock and swing can be a great way to relax and enjoy the views from a tiny home. So that's it for the outdoor space. Let's move on to the second part of the formula for a successful tiny home, which is having large and tall windows. When designing a great tiny home, one of the key considerations is maximizing the view. Large windows can provide stunning views and allow guests to connect with nature from the comfort of the tiny home. Whether it's a breathtaking mountain range or a tranquil ocean view, incorporating large windows can make a tiny home feel like a luxurious retreat and should definitely be an included feature. Letting in lots of natural light is also crucial in a tiny home because it can help the space feel brighter and more open, which can make it feel larger and more inviting for guests. And not only can you use large windows, but you can incorporate things like skylights and even glass doors. Okay, so now let's move on to the third part of the formula for a successful tiny home, which is amazing views. When it comes to designing a great tiny home, the importance of having amazing views cannot be overstated. Not only do stunning views provide a breathtaking backdrop for your tiny home, but they can also create a sense of calm and relaxation that's hard to replicate in other types of homes. The beauty of a tiny home is that it allows you to be fully immersed in nature, and having incredible views can help to enhance that experience. In addition to the aesthetic benefits, there are also practical advantages to having a tiny home with amazing views. For one, it can help to create the illusion of more space. By drawing the eye outwards toward the horizon, the space can feel much larger than it actually is. Let's move on to the fourth part of the formula for a successful tiny home, which is the amenities. When it comes to designing a great tiny home, amenities can make all of the difference because they can create an unforgettable experience. For example, providing guests with a meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or even a basket of snacks, can be a great way to create a sense of hospitality and ensure that guests feel well taken care of. Additionally, providing a gift basket or s'mores kit can be a great way to add a personal touch to the stay and to create a sense of warmth and familiarity. Another great amenity to think about is incorporating modern technology. For example, you could allow guests to purchase snacks through a QR code, and through that you can create a seamless experience that's really convenient for guests. You could also incorporate instructions on how to use certain items, as well as a guidebook that are all accessible via a QR code and is super convenient for your guests. Ultimately, the goal of a great tiny home is to make the entire home an experience that guests don't want to leave and in fact want to come back to again and again. And this can be achieved by incorporating thoughtful details such as comfortable bedding, high quality finishes, and luxurious amenities like the ones I have just described. And by providing guests with everything that they need to feel comfortable, relaxed, and well taken care of, you can create a truly unforgettable experience that will want to make your guests come back over and over again. Okay, let's move on to the fifth and final part of the formula for a successful tiny home. But before I do that, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to my channel. This helps me to produce more useful content for you and to attract a wider audience. Okay, so the fifth and final part of the formula is interior design. If you've watched any of my videos, you know how important interior design is, as well as the overall decor and aesthetic. It is something I talk about a lot because I think it is the most important factor when it comes to having a successful Airbnb. Within that, having a clear design theme and color scheme can help to tie the space together and create a cohesive aesthetic that feels intentional and well thought out. And it also helps to create a brand for your tiny home. Another important aspect to consider in the interior design of a tiny home is space utilization. By designing with enough space for regular size furniture, for example, you can really help to create a sense of comfort and familiarity that can be hard to achieve in a smaller space. You'll have to use careful planning in order to ensure that every inch of the space is used to its fullest potential while still maintaining an open and airy feeling. And here I would highly recommend working with a draftsperson, an interior designer, or even a stager to help you lay out a room. And by incorporating creative storage solutions and multifunctional furniture pieces, for example, you can help to create a sense of spaciousness and ensure that every part of the home feels functional and practical. And it allows you to provide for those additional creature comforts that your guests are really gonna like. Before you go, make sure to check out my recent videos on how to decorate your Airbnb. I show you exactly how to budget and where to shop for the best furnishings for each room. I also go over key design styles because I know that creating a cozy and inviting space is key to keeping your guests happy and coming back for more. So don't miss out on my expert tips and tricks. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.